Okay. Well, thank you for joining us and spending your lunch hour with us today. I'm Reggie Edwards and I'm with the Encouraging Place. And like every fourth Thursday, we bring some good stuff to you. Now, we usually move along the vein of racial healing, but then there are such interesting people that I learn and that I meet. I'm like, man, I got to share this with the world. So today, I am so glad to have with us my sister, Genita Spencer, founder and chair of Bags Good Life. Welcome, Genita.
Thank you so much for having me. Bags, we are excited. We are excited because we are being a grandparent support.
That is amazing. Please tell me how did you come up with that? What happened that caused you to know I need to be a support for grandparents?
Well, Reggie, I'm going to say like everybody else, life experience and COVID.
Tell me about it. Won't that make it happen?
Yes. Well, when I say life experience, Bags actually started in 2020 as a
Okay.
private Facebook group during COVID.
Okay.
And when I say that, I kind of went through a segment of depression. And it's kind of how it was built. My daughter
Mhm.
had several miscarriages, and I thought
Mm.
that I would never be a grandparent. And finally, she had my first grandchild and another one, and then COVID hit. And we was keeping on my husband and I every weekend. And so I felt depressed because they were so young.
Mhm.
I wanted to go see them, and I did.
Mhm.
I went
Uh-huh.
to her house one day. My 3-year-old came to the door, and I couldn't explain to him why he couldn't open the door because at that
Yeah.
time,
My.
they didn't know
Yeah.
the impact children had on older people if you had
Yeah.
pre-existing conditions. Well, he cried so
Yeah.
bad, and he cried to the point where he started shaking
Okay,
physically.
so I
And she
know.
said, "Mama, he just don't understand." So I returned
Uh-huh.
home and went to kind of a depression. And a girlfriend of
Mhm.
mine said, "Girl, won't you get with some more grandparents on a private Facebook group?" I said, "What's that?" She says, "Where people have to ask to come in." And
Mhm.
so she said, "Just get a couple of grandparents from church." And I did. I invited and got 8 grandparents to join me on a private group. Well, Reggie, when I say life experience, within 6 months, people started inviting other grandparents, and it ended up being
Wow.
over 80 grandparents across different
Wow.
states joining
That
the
is
group.
wonderful.
But when it
Yeah.
grew, then I began to learn about the problems. They were getting their grandchildren due to their adult children dying from COVID. Some
My,
was
my, my.
asking for help. Others was
Mhm.
getting it because the adult children were becoming alcoholics or
Mm,
substance
mm,
abuse, drug
mm,
abuse. And
mm.
then there was some that were going through another change, which Bags worked with. They were losing their grandchildren in their life due to divorce, separation. So COVID was having a dramatic impact
Mhm.
on the grandparents in
Okay.
so many ways. And when the second year came in, it was almost 200 grandparents. And I said, "Lord, I can't do this. It's just one woman." And we was doing games and articles. I said, "I can't." And then I met a beautiful woman named
Okay.
Dr. Sandra Wall that said, "Sometimes God will use you as the vessel, but not the person to do it all." And that's when I
Mhm.
realized I
That's it.
needed
That's it.
to apply for a
Mhm.
501(c)(3 because the grandparents were really suffering. I think the next piece was I was a foster parent for 14 years.
Really?
14 years, and 80% of the time, it was grandparents that came and got those babies.
Wow.
80% of the time, but they weren't getting any help. They were being
Mm,
reached out
mhm.
to by social services, police departments, and they would take, but they were not getting any help. So I knew that
My.
Bags had to step in and become a grandparent support. So I wrote this little thing and I started sending it out. When the bags of life get too heavy,
All right. All right. Uh-huh.
we are here because grandparents were having baggage. And so
Hmm.
that created Bags being a grandparent support.
That is amazing. When I first heard it, I'm like, bags? What in the world is that about? But I am just excited to know that. Now, are there any other bags support groups in the country?
There's
Is
not.
it, girl, go
I
ahead.
run into
God gave that to
people.
you, huh?
He did. I run into there's kinship programs. Now
Mm-hmm.
let me clarify. There are programs that work with aunts and uncles and cousins that are raising their kin. And
Mm-hmm.
I do affiliate and partner with them.
Mm-hmm.
But Bags is unique in the sense some people say, "Well, why don't you just do kinship? Why grandparents?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said the reason is with grandparents it's a different kind of hurt,
It is. It is.
different kind of pain. because you're hurting about your adult child that you
Yeah.
had and gave birth to, and now your grandchild. Aunts
Yeah.
and uncles, they love their sisters, they love their cousins, but it's a different kind of hurt.
It really is. Man, that's amazing. And so you started out with a few and ended up with what, 80 or so? And
I
then it
started with
just
8
spread
now.
all over.
Virtually, we still have the private group, and there's over 200 in the private group. But when I became a nonprofit, I started focusing on just North Carolina because we had people from Michigan, Mississippi, California, New York, D.C., which I do pray that we will become universal and start badge chapters in every state. And that's what
Wow.
I tell them. But we primarily focus on North Carolina, and we do Johnston and Wake County are our largest group of grandparents that we get.
That is amazing. That is something. So what are the I mean, you started to name them. What are some of the biggest challenges that grandparents are facing? I mean, when they when they think they're going to have the empty nest, and here their nest is full again with grandchildren. What are they going through, girl? What is it like?
Well, for the first thing, North Carolina is now at 87,000 grandparents raising grandchildren.
Wow, that is
And
terrible.
that was statistic done by Dom Davenport, Creating a Family. And we are at 237,000 children in North Carolina alone in kinship
Mm,
care.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
the first challenge is the grandparents most time aren't even prepared. They're not even
Yeah,
prepared.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Imagine you just finished your meal and you getting ready to turn on TV and you're thinking about where do I want to travel? I just
Yeah.
retired. You go to bed and at 2 a.m. you get a knock on the door. You
Mm,
go to the
mm, mm,
door
mm.
and there's either a police officer or someone who identifies himself as a child protective service worker. And they
Wow.
say to you, and you have 2 minutes to make a decision, ma'am, your daughter was arrested, or ma'am, we took your child into mental institution. Do you want to take this grandchild or grandbaby in, or do you want them to take them
Mm.
downtown?
Oh, that's
And you
just a
got
hard
2 minutes
thing.
to make
I
that
know.
decision.
Mm, mm,
At that time, your whole world changed. Emotional
mhm.
challenge, legal challenges, health
Wow.
challenges, financial challenges, because you are not prepared. And some children will come with nothing in their hands at all, and others may have a
Yeah.
black
My
trash bag with a few items. So the main thing is
mm,
one, not being prepared, and two,
mhm,
the financial struggle of not financially having to you're on a fixed income. And
mhm.
three, the biggest one is not being
Yeah.
visible to society, communities, the government. That is the next, which affects you emotionally.
Wow. That's really heavy. One Christmas we had a grandparent come into the store, and she was having to raise four of her great grandchildren because their mother and their grandmother was in prison.
That's right.
It was so sad. I'm just like, 'cause here she is. She was like in her 80s or something. And she had to turn around and raise these four little boys. Excuse me. And I'm like, I mean, it just took her all the way into another level of now. She doesn't even start to live because four little boys. Yeah, that's a lot. So I'm
And that's
sure,
growing. That's
man.
growing. We're getting calls from a lot of grandparents getting their great grands now, and a
Hmm.
lot of single grandfathers having to raise grandchildren by themselves.
Well, that's a sad thing. And I think people never think about that. Like, where do the kids go, right? And but it's naturally they're gonna only go to the who is the person's mom? Who is the so yeah, that's got to be really, really hard. So what policies, services, or community support what is out there for grandparents and grandparents with children?
Well, I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to do a quick definition. There's a thing called formal and informal grandparents, okay,
Mm-hmm.
raising grandchildren. The formal grandparents find out about social services or work with child protective services, so they get connected to information about food, clothing, what resources. And then there's the informal grandparent who don't know about social services, who had the child dropped off, or choose not to deal with the government. And a few of them don't qualify. Quick example, had a grandparent, had 8 grandchildren she was raising. 8 all the way up to
Mm.
age 16. When I visit her and we do Christmas, we do what we call bags, boxes, and bows, Christmas joy. When I got her and I got there, she told me she'd get $250 in food stamps. And I said,
Mm.
for 8?
Mhm.
Explain.
Mhm. Mhm.
Her pension money was counted. The children's death benefit they received was counted.
Oh, that's awful.
The 2 oldest ones worked at McDonald's. Their income was counted.
That is so terrible.
Household income counts. When you count that, it reduces the amount of food stamps received. Okay?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That way, she still needed help. The other piece of it is a grandparent can become a foster parent through the system now. They got some new rules, not go through the training, but they get $349 maybe a month. A foster parent not kin to the child can get $800 to $1,000 a month. So many
That's
just
crazy.
choose not to even get involved. And that's where bags come in to try to
That's
fill in
absurd.
the gap. So as far as policy has changed. I just did I have a program called Bags of Goodies where I
Mhm.
bring people on with information. And one grandparent said, my income should not have to dictate whether or not I feed my grandchild.
Exactly. Exactly.
Another grandfather says, my income says the most I can get is $108. I'm a single grandparent. It costs that much to do my 12 or 13-year-old's hair.
I know. Wow.
So
I mean,
those
that's
things have to
strangling them.
change, and we have to get the village back. We
I
have to
mean it.
get it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it does, and it and it's and as many as can come alongside, it's necessary. Because I mean, that can put you into a whole mental thing of I didn't want to have to do it, but I had to because nobody else was there to do it, and I got to do it. But look at the strain it puts on, and woe if something happens to the grandparent. I mean, if they get into ill health, what happens then?
And
You know?
people say sometimes that's their grandparent. They should take them in. It
No.
depends from a government perspective, but at the same time, yes, I want to. We have a book out called Love Beyond All Understanding, where 4
Hmm.
grandparents gave their information about their situation, each one different, and it has strategies and techniques. But at the end of the day, when a grandparent or a relative takes in a child, in the United States, they save the taxpayers $10.5 billion,
Wow.
which goes and they keep the children out of the foster care system.
Yeah.
Because right now, just in Wake County, we have 591 children in foster care and only 99 foster parents. So you can
No.
imagine
Oh,
they are
no.
staying in a lot of strange places. But
Yeah.
if the family got support and help, plus it's good for the child to feel still worthy and valuable to know that
Mhm.
they're with family. Now, am I saying all grandparents should take in grandchildren? I'm not saying that.
I hear
I'm
you.
saying majority could and should, but they need financial support. We need monies, we need resources, and it shouldn't have to come only if you connect with child protective services or the court
Mhm.
system get involved. We should help as a village because one of the things, and I'm going to stop because I told Todd earlier, I get real passionate.
I
If you
hear you.
go back and look at slavery, children were taken from their parents and taken
Yes.
from one plantation to another.
Mhm.
But what happened when they got there, they became family. That
Mhm.
big mama on the plantation, people took in those children as theirs, fed them, taught them, educate them. We've lost that, Reggie.
Yes,
And
we
that's
have.
what
Yes, we
Bags
have.
want to do. You
Mhm.
guys out there are phenomenal, but it still takes a village to raise a child. And 60% of the grandparents are over the age of 60.
Well, that's a terrible thing. But look, I mean, is there a lobbyist or somebody else who sees what you're talking about and it's like, let me get in here and try to go to the legislature to say, hey, you gotta help. You gotta help this situation because there's so many grandparents having to step in and be mama and daddy and all of that. Is there? Is there?
I'm glad you asked me that because that's what Bags provides information, resources, education, and connections to services on our website. That's a
Mhm.
one-stop website. However, 3 years ago, we added advocacy for change. And so one of the things that we're doing and we're working on, and this is what's going to be coming up in our upcoming annual event we do fundraiser is that
Mhm.
we want to create an kinship navigation program, an emergency kinship navigation program, and we are preparing to get groups and support, and we need community to help us go before legislation, to go before county commissioners. But see, if one person go, that's just like a little puddle. You step over a
Sure.
puddle. But if you
Mhm.
bring a whole lot of people, teachers, therapists, community churches, other organizations that deal with family in any capacity, you become an ocean. Honey, you can't step over no ocean.
Come
I don't
on
care
now,
how
say
hard you
so, say
try.
so, say so. That is
So
right,
yes,
that is
we're
right.
trying to now, we're moving into that arena. Are they aware? There's bills out there that have been put in place that are still, there's a housing act for grand families in some states where they built whole apartment complexes, and based on the income, the
Mhm.
grandparents can live there with their grandchildren and kinship. Been out, we don't have it in North Carolina. The sad thing is that the South has the highest number of grandparents raising grandchildren, and we have the least amount of support. African Americans, Native Americans are one of the largest groups. But here, people say, well, don't we have rights? And that's another piece grandparents don't have in North Carolina.
Yeah.
North Carolina grandparents don't have any rights. And so you may keep your grandchild for 3 or 4 years and still lose them back to mom, even if mom is or isn't ready. But the
Mhm,
whole purpose is to help the family rebuild and for mom or dad to get back. But
mhm.
yes, there needs to be more. Bags is working on that. We invite anyone else that work with families to become partners with us, volunteers with us, any events, because 2027, it's going to be on like popcorn.
I hear you, but so, I mean, it's gonna take everybody. It's gonna take everybody, and to think you're the first person to come up with this kinda God idea, and look how long grandparents have been hobbling along trying with nobody saying anything to them but, "It's your responsibility to take care of those kids."
Now
And
they
then God
are
gives you
out
that
there
idea.
in kinship programs. They are filtrated in with aunts, uncles, and cousins. Their Wake
Mhm.
County has a KIA program, but that's for everybody, aunts, uncles, and cousins. We are uniquely in the sense that we focus on just grandparents, but there
Okay.
are other programs that do family type support for grand families. They're just
Mhm,
in filter. We just pull that group out for the reason I told you.
mhm,
We have co-resident grandparents as well. What is that? That's me. A
mhm.
co-resident grandparent is where you have one adult in the household with your grandchildren and you're still helping raise them. So I have my grandchildren in my house. The co is a little bit different and better because when them boys get to fighting and wrestling and cutting up
Mhm,
and stuff, I
mhm.
can yell, "Child, come get these boys."
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh,
when you
uh-huh.
don't have an adult in the house and you have a 3 and a 5 and a 6-year-old, and now the grandparents are getting their grandchildren and they're saying, "Miss Genita, what is this thing called autism? What
My,
is this
oh
thing
my.
called ADHD?"
Mhm.
Why he doesn't listen? Why does he beats himself? Why does he bite his hand? Why does she, now or they're affected what they call ACE syndrome, which is adverse child experience. Some have been sexually molested. Some
Yeah.
children have. I had one grandfather a couple of years ago, was my first one, raising grandchildren, 5. All of them tested positive for heroin, the
No,
3-month-old up to the 9-year-old. And so
no.
he had to learn that when a child has substance abuse, the baby doesn't lay on you like a normal baby would. He cries profusely all night long. I'm telling you, close your eyes. Imagine you are 80 years old and you have a baby
Wow.
that cries nonstop.
Right.
Cry and cry and cry, but you still step up and you still step in and you do the best. The
Mhm,
rocking, the singing doesn't help until that
mhm.
system gets some of
Get that
that
stuff
out
co
of them.
Yeah, 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 and people don't even think about that. They don't even think about just how hard it is for a grandparent to have to step into that role. Not and like you said, they don't know what's going on with the kid. Because with their child, you can rock him to sleep, right? With this one, it's a whole 'nother thing. So do y'all have support groups? I mean, for people who can just sit down and talk out what what they're going through, and or even just to put it on the table, just to have a listening ear. Do y'all have support groups
We
like
do.
that?
We just started because we've been asked for quite a few years. We have a virtual support group, which is another reason why we're pushing for this navigation program, because it is challenging for older grandparents, but it's called From Baggage to Blessings.
Oh.
And when you first get your grandchild, it feels like baggage. One of
Mhm.
the things we want people to know and grandparents to know is that you're not alone. You are
Mhm.
not alone. Don't
Mhm.
feel shame. Don't
Mhm.
worry about, because some will say, well, people want to know, what did you do wrong? Why your child can't keep your child? And
Mm,
this comes from
no.
people in the church. This don't just come from the community.
Girl, don't I know about that. Mhm.
And they
Mhm.
get hurt, and so they just don't tell anybody. But with Baggage to Blessings, the grandparents come on a virtual link. It's the third Thursday of every month. It's on our website, bagsgoodlife.org.
Mhm.
And they really provide the support for each other by sharing some techniques, some resources they may have found about, some antidotes that may be used. And then in 2027, if they say they want to bring someone to talk to them about ADHD, we get that person. If they
Yeah.
want someone to talk to them about autism, but the biggest thing is the support that they get from knowing they're not alone.
I know it. I know it. So, I now, I know with some of the, support groups for foster kids, right, that the caregiver can, what, step away, and they can go somewhere else for, like, a weekend, and they can have them. Is that such a thing for grandparents?
Now, you're talking about, is the title's called Respite Care.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know
Yes,
the word.
respite care. In the formal group that work with social workers and that work with the court system, they do get connected with individuals, which are other foster parents that will take a child in for a weekend if they need time. But the informal group who's not dealing with social service and stuff do not have the respite care connections. And that's why Bags partner. We partner with people that help bring us clothes, but we also, don't give her a plug, partner with this young woman called Jan Lundy, called Time in Moms. Time in
Okay.
Moms. She's
Mhm.
phenomenal. So what she does for free, she has 90 minutes of free childcare.
Mm.
90
Oh,
minutes of
wow.
coming in your home. You could choose for her to come and clean your
That
home,
is so
or
wonderful.
90 minutes for a volunteer to cook your meal for you just to get a rest. And so
Mm,
when she
mm, mm.
contacted me and told me about her organization, and she said, and we can go, I know your grandparents need breaks. I know, someone can come in and babysit for 90 minutes. They could be there or they could leave. And she makes everybody go through a background check. And she
Yes,
herself
definitely.
was an educator. And I
Mhm.
told her, no, that's babysitting for y'all. For old folks, it's respite care.
Come on, for
So
real, so I can catch my breath and save my
I
own
catch my
life.
breath. And they
Yeah.
do, but they're a little bit more, how can I say, grandparents are a little bit more cautious. The older
Yeah, yeah,
generation
they're not.
doesn't
Mhm.
embrace it as much as some of the younger ones do. And I
Mhm.
have grandparents in their 40s that
Yeah,
are,
yeah, that's
yes, in
something.
their 40s.
Mhm.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
42, 43, yes, as well as in their 80s.
Mhm. So if how would you want, well, okay, do you have a lot of churches embracing this program?
No, unfortunately, I can't say I do. And that's why I love this opportunity to do this podcast with you, Reggie.
Mhm.
Because even though, just like the grandparent that's raising a grandchild, we want visibility for them so they can get support. Bags need that visibility too. We're a small board, and we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for community support, partnership, even an annual event that we have coming up. Each year we raise emergency funds, and we're raising emergency funds this year for what we call the Emergency Starter Kit bag. What is that?
Okay. Uh-huh.
The emergency starter kit bag in 72 hours. Any grandparent, a church, a school, a neighbor, or organization can contact us, and they will get a duffel bag with 2 clothing items, pajamas, hygiene items, toothbrush, washcloth, soap, and comb. And if they're school age, school equipment or supplies. If they are younger children, a bottle, a sippy cup. And those are for grandparents that get those grandchildren unexpectedly. We need partners. We're looking to partner with someone who will provide the duffel bags for those people that want to donate the clothes to go in them, because we're going to do up to age 12. Now, let me tell you why. Christmas time, we used to do 4 or 5 grandparents, and they have about 8 kids. Last year, we had almost 16 children that we had to help Johnson away. But when they get to a certain age, they get funny about their clothes, honey.
Oh yeah, if they ain't got the latest stuff,
Yeah,
you
they, yeah.
cannot go to
So
quick
us,
Kmart and get it. They don't want it.
you
They
know,
want that cool stuff, which
we might
costs
try to
dog
get
money.
them a gift card, but we don't touch going out shopping for no for the clothes. And we also did what we call gowns for girls, tux for boys, where we received gowns for those juniors and seniors that wanted to go to the prom and could not afford a gown. We've done those. So we do some direct projects, but we mostly are virtual. And right now, we are advocating for change. We are
Wow.
advocating for change, and we need you. We need
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. I mean, what I'm hearing you say, because I know some of my friends that are going through that, and it's like I never thought I was going to be in this position. I thought, I was going to be able to retire. I was going to fix my house up. I was going to do this and do that. And here I had to turn around and take that exact bedroom that I'd gotten rid of and had to open it back up for these little kids right here. And that's a heavy load. I mean, that can make people fall into a deep depression of all that comes with it,
They do.
you know.
And they
I don't-
do.
Mm,
We have those resources, mental health resources for children on our website as well as for adults. One of the biggest challenges right now is the different types of insurance.
mm,
Some companies say, well, we take Medicaid, but we only take Wake County, or we only take Johnson, or but we do have some programs that bags deal with that regardless of where you stay, we can get you connected to services. We can get therapists to come out and do an assessment with you. I'm really think this year I've already confirmed that we're having our Joyful Noise Gospel Extravaganza
you
in
go, girl, with your
September.
creative self. Yeah,
Yes, I'm excited. And
yeah,
we're having Kim Pearson, who was raised by her grandparent, and she
mhm,
is a 7-time Stella nominee. So I'm
wonderful.
really excited. But this is the first year we're going to have some state officials that's going to attend.
Oh,
State
how
officials
wonderful.
that are going to attend from county commissioner to district representative, because again, we are beginning to become a movement. And we are
Yes,
inviting anyone who cares about children, families, grandparents. You do not have to be a grandparent to be a
to help.
volunteer with bags. You do not have to be a grandparent to be on an advisory council. We do need you because I'm telling you, 87,000 just in North Carolina that's known.
That's some scary
So
statistics.
mind you, what about the ones not known about that's raising their
Mm, mm,
grandchildren?
mm, mm, They're struggling, trying to do it by themselves. I mean, well, you got my vote because I want to be able to help and share that with some other people. So tell us about the extravaganza that you got coming up. You said it's the first time you're doing it this way. Go on, girl. Go and put your commercial in. Go ahead.
So every year BAG has an annual event, and we're really excited about this year because we are doing BAG's 2026 Joyful Noise Gospel Extravaganza,
Go, girl. Go
because
ahead.
we have to give honor to the people that have done things with us, but to the one and only that we serve, our Lord Jesus Christ.
Come
He
on.
has taken this organization that's only a few people and has grown us tremendously because
Wonderful.
the need was there, and we are glorifying him on Saturday,
Mm,
September 26th at
wonderful.
the Vision Church RDU at 5808 Departure Drive. It is at 3:00. We're going to have Kim Pearson, the feature artist. We're going to have quartets. We're going to have mimes. We're going to have a Joyful Noise Gospel Choir. We're going to have a skit. We're going to have a spoken word. We're going to have good, delicious food. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have a lot of stuff because we got it going on. Because
Girl,
if
I
you
tell you, I
ever
tell you.
been
Yes,
to a
you are
Bags event,
creative. You got it, girl. You
woo,
coming up with some stuff.
it pops from the moment that you come through the door to the moment you leave. So
So
why
is this
not come and have a good time at
what
Worthy Call?
time? I mean, the time is gonna be like afternoons or mornings
Three
or
o'clock is on our
3. Okay.
website right now. We've got early bird ticket discounts
Mm-hmm.
right now on bags, goodlife.org.
Mm-hmm.
Bags, goodlife.org. Bags being a grandparent support. We've got opportunities. If you have a business, get you a page. Get yourself a spotlight so when people come and open our program, they see your face in the place. We also have vendor tables. If you are a vendor and you have a product that you want to share and show out, contact us. Go on our website. We are sponsorship. We have sponsorship. We still need our top dollar sponsor at
Yeah.
$5,000. That sponsor will not only get on social media props, but you get 8 tickets. You get on our website. You get featured at the door. We got some good stuff, honey. So
I hear
you
you.
just
You
need to
sure
become
do.
a sponsor. We've got $2,500 sponsorship, $250. You say, well, I want to be a sponsor. I want to get something. You can get 2 tickets for $250 and mention at the extravaganza. Just go to
Wonderful.
bagsgoodlife.org and help us get these emergency starter kit bags so we can be ready in 72 hours to help a grandparent.
It's so exciting. And I am so glad to talk to you because I can hear all those ideas just floating all around in your head. And I'm glad that God dropped that idea on you. Now tell me this. When did you know? When did you know that this was for you to do? Did you always have a thing for grandparents? How did you come to here? How did you
I would
you
say,
said you became a grandparent, but yeah.
yeah, I didn't know. I'm just like,
Okay.
and most people that go into the business of what we do, nonprofit stuff, particularly nonprofits, I didn't know. And this was where I'm at today was not the intention that I had.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't. But what happened when I decided, when we got up to 80 grandparents on Facebook, I got scared.
Mhm.
And I said to God, I'm shutting this down. I
Mhm.
never even, I like my 8 grandparents. That's
Yeah,
all I want to do is just
right.
talk and be there.
Uh-huh.
And again, when it got to about 200 and Dr. Sandra Wall, and I joined a support group for myself because I
Mhm.
had some issues. I don't mind. I'm very transparent
Sure.
about confidence. I'm confident today, but I've not always been this way.
I hear you.
And when she said, God will use you as the vessel and you don't have to do it all,
Come
you'll
on, come
know.
on. Mhm.
And
Okay.
so one of the things that let me know God was in the midst of this, I told you earlier, want to become a 501c3 so
Mhm.
I could get support and help from organizations.
Mhm.
And everybody I talked to try to do this would say, oh, it'll take a couple of months. It could take up
Uh-huh.
to a year. They're backed
Uh-huh.
up and that type of thing. And this lady, you probably know, because I knew her because I used to be a Head Start director. Someone told me about the lady named Betty Murchison.
You know Betty is the mayor of the triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
She
I
told me
knew
about
Betty.
you. Mhm.
I had knew Betty from my Head Start days. I was a Head
Mhm.
Start director
Mhm.
and I hadn't seen her in years and somebody mentioned her. And I said, oh, well, that's nice. They said, well, she
Yeah.
can help you with your 501c3.
Yeah.
Didn't think that about a couple of weeks passed, went to a furniture store and who was standing in the furniture store? Betty
Uh-huh.
Murchison.
Uh-huh.
And so when I talked to her about it, she said, no, it's not going to take a couple of months. It
No.
could take maybe 2 or 3 months at the most.
Mhm.
Well, let me say this. Betty helped me. We did the paperwork. She said, now a couple of days, IRS might reach out to you with a question or two. So in 16 days after she filed the paperwork, I got my letter. I said, now what do they want? And
Yeah.
what did they want, Reggie? In 16 days, they told us, you approved to be
Go
a file.
ahead, girl. Go ahead.
When I
Huh.
found out that was approved in 16 days, I said, that's God.
You know it.
Because
You
I
know
knew
it.
people who was applying and they were still waiting and it had been 2 or 3 months.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's
you
how
knew
I
that
knew.
was a God idea. You knew it because it just dropped on you because you weren't even thinking that way. It dropped
I
on you and
wasn't.
it just expanded, right? Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
say anything
absolutely.
that comes to you, I love you, Reggie. I love you.
Sure.
The things that
Yeah.
you do, I love people. People, today is my birthday.
Happy
And
birthday, my sister.
thank you. I'm celebrating 65 years of age.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
excited. It's just the
Yeah.
beginning of life, and God is
Yes.
giving me my purpose because I still work, but I
Yeah.
know He's setting me up for when I retire.
You know it. You know it. You know it. Because I was trying to figure out how do you maintain a full-time job with all of this but God, right?
But God,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh. Because
God.
I'm like, you
Y'all come
said
on
something.
now. Y'all come on, help us.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Well, let's let everybody know how to get in touch with you. Let me see. Does our media guy have any info to put up there? Because people need to know how to get in touch with you. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
y'all make sure, yes, get in touch with me, whether you wanna volunteer, whether you wanna be a partner to help provide clothes or help somebody that can supply these duffel bags we need,
Yeah, yeah.
please get in touch with us. If you know a partner, that will be great. If you know a sponsor that wants to sponsor this Joyful Noise Gospel
Go on,
Gala
girl.
Extravaganza, please
Because
reach
somebody's
out to
sitting on that
us.
money wanting some good place to put it, and it's right
Yes,
there.
you
That's a
know it's
good
out
place.
there. So
Yeah.
just contact me. The spirit of this organization and this event, it is being a grandparent support. And grandparents, I'm going to say this to you. You're not alone, but if you keep it hidden, it can't be helped.
Go
What is
ahead.
hidden can't be helped. So
Mm-mm,
talk,
mm-mm,
use
mhm.
your voice, start speaking up. And if you need somebody to support you, join our virtual support group on third Thursday of each month, Baggage to Blessings, or just say, Miss Genita, I need you. And we are
Yeah,
there. When the
yeah.
bags of life get too heavy,
I love
we
it.
are here.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to come and talk to our ladies because I'm sure a lot of them. I mean, that we're at that tender age. A lot of them are going through grandchildren stuff. Having to go back into being mama to little kids that you didn't intend
Yeah.
to. But what is the one message you like every grandparent raising a grandchild to hear today at this
The
hour
main
on your
thing I
birthday?
will reiterate again is you're not alone. 87,000 grandparents in North Carolina known is raising their grandchildren.
Mm, mm.
And the second thing that you need to know is that you are a superhero. You're
Yes,
not
yes, yes.
only saving the lives of your grandchild, but you're saving generations from generations because
Mhm.
what you're doing, always remember, it has a domino effect.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Mhm,
grandbaby needs you. They
mhm,
need you.
mm,
Do you have
mm,
to be
mm.
perfect? Heck no. There ain't
'Cause I
no
don't know
perfect
none.
people on this earth,
Mhm.
but you are perfect enough for them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I am so glad that you embraced the idea when God dropped it on you, because He got a way of doing that. Like, you can't get away from it. It's like a bumblebee. If you turn, you can't get away until you say, okay, and then it starts
Try
following
that.
you.
Every
Uh-huh.
every quarter I'm quitting
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, I
last
know it.
6
I know it.
years.
I know it. I know it. I know it. Well, you are a delightful person because of the energy and joy that you have about what you do. Because it's going to take that in this hour to get from here to there. You know what I'm saying? In light
Oh,
of all
thank
that we're
you,
living
Reggie.
in and going through, it's going to take that. You better have enthusiasm. You better have joy. And you better be dependent on the Lord, because we can't do this stuff. We
And that's
don't,
why he
we're
connect people like
not.
us together, 'cause we
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
connected now.
mhm, mhm, mhm. This lady spoke last night. She says she can, she will, 'cause she was built for this.
Dad,
I know it. I said, "Girl, go ahead." She said
that's a
she
bumper
can.
sticker.
She will. And she was built for this. Now, God doesn't tell us everything. We just think, "Oh, I'll just do it." It's like, no, no, no. I dropped that on you. I want you to do it. And I thank you for doing a great job. I cannot wait for you to share with our ladies and to tell us how we can come alongside and be a help. Because, yeah, the 26th of September, yeah, my
Yeah, with
birthday's
the
the
state
20th.
officials there, we need as many people to show up, to show out that they believe in this cause.
That is it. That is it. I'm so glad. Thank you for being our guest today. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that when people see this, they're going to wish they had seen it, that they were present when we did it. But we're going to have all your info put up there, and people will know how to get in contact with you. And I think all public forums need to open up to you. All these nonprofits need to open up. I mean, hey, we raising money for ourselves, but it blesses you to raise money for somebody else, you know?
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm really, really, really excited about it. And I'm gonna be sending something your way. And I want you to come and speak to our ladies too. Because you
I
got it,
will do.
girl.
I
Uh-huh. And the Joyful Noise is September 26th at 3 p.m.
at 3
at
PM at the
Vision
Vision
RDU
Church, RDU in Raleigh,
Departure Drive.
the 5808 Departure Drive.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Uh-huh. And
and
that's
there
a
is some stuff
progressive
out
church
there.
anyway. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And it only gets sweeter from here, sister.
Thank you. Blessings.
Yes. And
Thank you,
thank you
Ty.
all for sharing this lunch hour with us. I know you're excited, and I know you're going to be in touch with Genita, and I know you're going to throw in your time, talent, and energies and finances into helping her launch do better, do more for the grandparents all over this city who need the help that only we can give. Thank you. Talk to you soon.